So the shenanigans continue. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's almost like that. I can't even speak because it's so unbelievable. Now, okay, so I was listening to Game Attack Radio today. Shout out to them. Shout out to Godfrey. Shout out to Vicious 696. Shout out to Pete Rock. And Parris was talking about all this SSD stuff. That it don't matter. It don't matter. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You just pop it open. It take you 2 seconds. Pop it open. Bit more bit. Now, for a guy like him, for a guy like Pete, for a guy like myself, it's no big deal. Of course, we know how to pop open a freaking box. Screw, slap, screw, bam, you're done. Of course. It's easy. You know, I do more. I change the brakes on my car. I could do that. I could change the oil. You know, I change the alternator. That's more involved than slapping an SSD in a PS5. Of course, it's easy for people. Some people. Some would say most people. I would say no, not most people. Some people, yes. Percentage-wise of the population as a whole, not most. Do a survey. Says do one of those. See how many people change their own oil. There are some people, depending on the place the actual, where you at in the country of the USA. It's gonna be 100%. Yeah, of course I change my own oil. Of course I do. Got those guys. Or girl, females sound like that too. That's not discriminate. And then in the other parts, you'd be like, ew, I let my butler Jeffrey change my oil. That's his job. Yes. The schnooties sound like British people in America. That's not true. Anyway, the point is, yes, partially what Parris said was true. Overall, we're not talking about the people who know how to do stuff. We're talking about everybody. We're talking about grandma, grandpa, auntie, uncle, nieces, nephews, everybody else who don't know nothing about nothing, who had everything done for them as cheer-ins, as adults, as old peoples. I know people in my family who can't do stuff. And then I know people in my family who can do way more than me. So, while his opinion is noted, duly noted, and true, it is not the complete truth. The complete truth is there are a huge percentage of people who will not even know what the hell to do with an SSD. First, they won't know which one to buy. Second, I guarantee they won't buy a heatsink unless they were told to buy one by the person selling them the SSD. If you go into a store, you'll be like, I need an like this. I need a SSD. Oh, you mean an SSD? Oh, yes, a SSD. I need that for, what do you want it for? What are you going to put that under? My son's PlayStation 5. And it's like, oh, okay, we got these right here. Oh, this is going to need a heat sink, and that's an additional. But wait, it's more money? Isn't it cheaper without the heat? Yes, it's cheaper, but you're going to need the heat. But I don't want to spend the money for the heat. I just want the cheap thing to put it on so he shut the hell up because I hate his guts and I can't believe he's my offspring. But ma'am, I'm just saying, ma'am, Mr. Ma'am, ma'am, I'm just saying you can probably want a heat sink. And that's how it's going to go. I would hate to be, such and such company employee trying to sell these things to people. I think these hard drive manufacturers, the SSD manufacturers, just everyone comes with a heatsink because this is what Sony's doing. Now, that's not even what this video is about. This video is about Sony and their shenanigans, SSD shenanigans. Now, it's not even the fact that slower SSDs, and when I say slower, I mean slower, megabytes per second, slower, considerably slower, which means what? Cheaper. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure out what's the move. What are they doing? My first thought is they wanted to keep those numbers high to be like, yo, the only thing we have that's faster than an Xbox is our SSD IO, right? That's the only thing. And they can say whatever number they want. And all these ponies and Pegasi fanboys, super fanboys, I'll say, will eat it up, gobble it up, and believe it. Now, The Verge, these beautiful people at The Verge, Sean Hollister, I give you props, son. They came with an article yesterday saying PS5 worked fine with the slowest compatible SSD we could find, right? So the thing is, so this is the one that they found, the slowest one, ADAT, XBG, GameX, whatever. The write speed is 3,900 megabytes per second. The read speed is 3,200 megabytes per second, right? Sony says the slowest it can be is 5,500 megabytes per second. First, so caught out lying. They just straight up lied to y'all. Why did they lie? I want to see how much this thing costs. $129. That's for a terabyte? Come on, son. All right, so let's go back. So here's my thing. Like, okay, why? Maybe it's a cheaper drive and it might not last. Sure, okay, that's a possibility. But honestly, the slower the speed, the cheaper the drive. So why are they pushing this narrative of you need to drive such and such speed? Because at that point, it's like, oh, there's a threshold, and now it seems like a conspiracy. I'm not a conspiracy dude, right? But look, if Sony says, yeah, it's got to be this, and then the whole industry's like, oh snap, let's bump up the prices on these 5,500 and up drives, or well, they just overall bump up the prices, and it's a whole cascading effect. But the point is, the slower the SSD, the cheaper the SSD, and if these work, 3,900 works. You don't need to go 5,500. Why did Sony say you have to do 5,500? Why? And there's the thing. Now they have this little thing that comes out, oh, your read speed is slower than what we recommend if you have problems, blah blah blah. Whatever, Sony, don't give me a pop-up, right? So here's the juicy juice right here. Here is a fact. Here is proof that Sony is shenanigans y'all. They shenanigans y'all, and y'all need to step up and be like, yo, what's the deal, Sony? Why you lying to our faces all the time? That's what y'all need to do. Check it. Ratchet and Clank ripped apart. Internal SSD. The internal to the motherboard, soldered to the motherboard SSD. 14 seconds. The Sabrent rocket, which is what they said, 5,500, blah, blah, blah. 14 seconds. The slow one, 3,900. Fit 1 second more. Okay, I'm not good at math, but these numbers seem weird, right? So that either means that the slow drive is miraculously going faster than it should, or the internal drive for the PS5 isn't as fast as they are saying. That's what's up. That's what's up right there. Okay, let's keep going. Returnal, 30 seconds. Internal, Sabrent. We could even skip the Sabrent. We don't need to, but that's the equivalent that they prefer, right? Whatever. Recommend. The XP, the XPG, 1 more second again. Returnal. That's a 1080p game. It doesn't even need that much, but still, it's only 1 second more. What that means that the internal SSD of the PS5 is running underclocked. That's what that means. If a 3,900 megabytes per second is rocking the same speed pretty much as Returnal, as the internal SSD, what does that tell you? That it's slow. The internal drive is slower than what they said. They lying about the speeds. That's what's up. Let's keep going. Spider-Man Miles Morales, 19 seconds internal SSD. Remember, Kraken is cracking. Kraken's so fast. Kraken decompressed so fast. 19 seconds. The Sabrent is faster. The XPG is faster than that. 2 seconds faster than the internal drive. Wait a second. How's it faster? But it's slower. How is it faster and slower at the same time? You see what I'm saying? You see the shenanigans? You see the BS? The BS? You see what's happening? This is why I don't mess with Sony because they're not straight. They're not transparent. They throw numbers out at you and be like, yeah, they believe it. Don't worry. They just trying to sell boxes and sell stuff to y'all. They will tell you anything to sell you the crack. Let's keep going. Final Fantasy Remake, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, 10 seconds, even across the board. How is that so if the internal SSD is so much faster than the 3900? I don't get it. I mean, this is every row of this. If this chart is proving my point. Final Fantasy 7 for the PlayStation 4, same thing. 43 seconds all the way across the board, right? Yakuza Like a Dragon. This is where it get interesting. Internal SSD 31. This is PS5. Internal SSD 31, 32, 32. Another 1 second difference, which is negligible. What is that? You know what I mean? Yakuza Like a Dragon. Faster for the PS4. Faster on the XPG. Look. All I'm saying is that what they are saying about their internal SSD and the requirements obviously is not accurate or truthful, because a slower, cheaper $130, I want someone to buy this SSD, the XPG GameX S50 Lite. Buy that. It's only $130. Throw that in your PS5. Let's see what's going on. Let's just run it, use it, abuse. That's the 1 terabyte too. That's cheaper than the Xbox joint. So you know what I'm saying? That's good. That's a good deal. So look, do that. Boom. Run it raw. You know what I mean? Run it raw. I want to see how long it lasts, if it works, if it performs how it's supposed. Because as of right now, it's performing perfectly. You know what I mean? So, nah, B. Nope. That 1 second difference. Nah, that's not even. And this is from starting up the console to in game. This is what this time is. This is not like load time from the menu or nothing. This is from like, I don't want to say cold start, but whatever they, however they measured it from. So this is crazy. On average, I saw write speeds of around 1100 megabytes per second transfer for 5 test games to either an add-on M2 drive, but just around 220 megabytes sending those same games back to the PS5. Why is it slower sending it? Why is it that much slower sending it back? That doesn't make any sense either. That's crazy. So there's some other numbers, but that's just a file transfer, like game transfer. You're gonna transfer your game from the internal to the M2 slot, M2 slot. So it's ridiculous. This right here is so damning for all the ponies out there. All the ponies like that super fast SSD. Yeah, they full of shite. They are smoking. They're smoking it, and then they're blowing the smoke up your booty hole. It's coming out your nose. That's how far they blowing it. Coming out your eyeballs. This is ridiculous. I see this. Yo, if Microsoft pull this, I'll be like, yo, I'm out. No more gaming for me. Forget the gaming. I'm just going to do my thing and be in Blender all the time. I ain't got time for these shenanigans. But y'all ponies eat it up. They put it in the bucket. They strap the bucket to your face and you're like, com trum. Because that's what's up. Tilt away. Like and subscribe.